Great leaders give decisions. They close issues. You should only do things which absolutely require your involvement. As a leader, you must be bold. So now we have come to the last part of this video series, the fifth part. So if you have not seen the other four parts, I would recommend that you must see those four parts because there are some very interesting tips, small tips which have been given in those four parts, and that will help you in becoming a great leader. These are small tips, but they can create a big impact in your career. So you must watch these four parts. And in today's video, we are going to talk about another 3 tips, another 3 hacks which will help you in becoming a great leader. So do watch this video completely and ensure that you get benefited by all the tips that I have shared with all you guys. Hi, my name is Anjani Kuumar and welcome to my channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, do consider subscribing to get benefited by all these videos that I post on regular basis. So now let's talk about the first tip. The first tip is, as a leader, you are supposed to solve problems. You are supposed to give decisions. You are supposed to do things which will benefit the company. Now, at any given point in time, you will have so many things to work on. There are so many challenges, so many problems which you will be facing. And obviously, you will need a lot of information, a lot of data to solve them. And that's how most of the leaders operate. But one thing where I have seen people facing challenge is in terms of closing things. Because you always have this desire to ask for more data, more information, and then things keep getting postponed. Where you do one meeting, you send few mails, and then you again decide that there are few more things required. So probably a day or 2 more is required to actually study that information or understand things. And that's how things keep piling up. And that's a very normal thing which happens in the corporate world. Now, great leaders give decisions. They close issues. That's very important because not necessarily you will have information all the time available about everything. So within the given information, within the given time frame, you will have to keep closing things. Closing is very important because if you don't close things, they will keep piling up and ultimately you will come to a level where you will keep missing out on some of the old things which were discussed earlier as new challenges will keep coming in front of you. So that's why the first tip that I want to share with all of you is learn to close things. Learn to give decisions. Learn to keep things aside, give decisions, move on. That's very important because as a leader, if you're not closing things, if you're not giving decisions, it will become very difficult for you to remain productive, manage things on regular basis. So with whatever data that you have, with whatever information that you have, learn to close things, learn to give decisions. That's very important. The second tip that I want to share with you guys is, as a leader, you will always have this desire to do everything that is there in front of you because you know all these things very well. You have got into this position by understanding those challenges, problems which are there in front of you. But what is also important to understand is you should only do things which absolutely require your involvement. The rest of the things you will have to give it to people who work with you because you will always have this desire that I can do it better than others. But if you don't start delegating things, it will ultimately impact your effectiveness. I have seen great leaders, they work 16 hours, 18 hours, and still they are not able to complete their jobs. And their subordinates complain that the boss is not delegating enough. Now, the key here is to learn to delegate. Delegation is very important trait of a great leader. You should only do things which absolutely requires your involvement. Rest of the things must be delegated. Rest of the things must be done by the people who work with you. That's how you will be able to develop them also. And you also have to remember that if you are able to do certain thing at 100% quality level, you will have to somewhere in your mind accept that when you delegate, probably the output would be at 70, 80, 90% level. But you have to be okay with that, because ultimately it's physically impossible for you to complete everything, do everything yourself. And unless you develop great people under you, you will not be able to grow further. So that's why delegation is extremely important trait of a successful leader. You must only do things which absolutely requires your intervention. Everything else should be delegated. And finally, the last point, the last tip that I want to share with you is, as a leader, you must be bold. You must be bold enough to take all the risks which are there in front of you. You can't be playing safe. If you play safe, you will never become successful in life, because all the great leaders take risks. And then there is a term which always go on in the corporate world, is that you must take calculated risk and all that stuff. There is nothing called calculated risk. Risk means risk. And great leaders are bold enough to take risks. So that's why if you want to become successful in your career, if you want to become successful in the corporate world, if you want to reach the top, you must learn to take risks. You will have to take your chances. Sometimes you may go wrong. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. But if you don't take risks, you will never succeed. All the people who are successful leaders today, they have taken multiple risks in their careers. So that's why that is one thing that you always have to remember, that to become a great leader, you must take bold decisions, you must take risks on your way in your journey towards leadership. That's absolutely essential to become a great leader. So just to summarize the 3 things that we learned today, the first thing is that you must learn to close things, give decisions and move on. Don't allow things to get piled up. The second thing that you need to learn is you should only do things which absolutely require your personal intervention. Everything else should be delegated. And the third thing that we learned today is you as a leader must be bold enough to take risks and take your chances, and that's how only you can become successful in life and career. So I'm sure this whole leadership series that I did of the 5 videos would have come in handy for you, because these are small things. These are not something for which you need to read management books or attend management classes. These are simple things which you can actually implement in your day-to-day professional life and get benefited by them. So these 15 tips, 15 hacks that I have shared with you, please use them. Please see how they can really improve their corporate life, professional life, and how they can help you in becoming a great leader. So if you have liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with family and friends. And if you have any questions, do share in the comment section below and I'll answer them. And then I'll see you in the next video. Till then, thank you very much for watching.